2:15 to be on the stream. So hopefully some people join and we have a cool discussion. But I'm also multitasking so that in case people don't join, I'll just be ranting and doing some other work. So yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day. I woke up like feeling like really stuffy, and I mean you can still kind of tell I'm a little stuffy right now. But the greatest thing you can ever do if you're feeling super congested is to literally just go into a sauna. Like just sit there for 10, 15 minutes, and I don't know why, but it just gets everything out of you. It really just breaks down the mucus, and it's the best thing ever. Like the thing that sucks though is if you like wake up in the middle of the night, you can't just run down to a sauna. So that's a goal for the future. Get enough money so that I can have a sauna in my house. That when I have a little stuffy nose, I can go in it. That'll be the day when I have a sauna in my house that I could just use whenever I want. There's no sweaty old guys just looking at me read in there. It's weird. But yeah, I feel like people judge me so much for reading in the sauna, and I don't know why. It's like I'm gonna be sitting there for 20, 30 minutes. I might as well get some insight, get some knowledge, get some wisdom. It's better than me sitting on my phone on TikTok. Like it's kind of weird the looks I get. It's like yeah, I'm gonna use this time for good. What's up, Evan? I saw that you said you missed the stream yesterday. You were sad. It's good that we also you got to join this one. That's cool. Yeah, saunas are literally the best thing ever. I don't know why every gym doesn't get one because the health benefits are just insane from it. But yeah, no, the stream last night you didn't miss much. It wasn't. I didn't have that much fun. It's not that like the people weren't joining, but it was like people weren't really asking questions, so it just was me ranting. So I could have just filmed the video. But yeah, no, we'll figure out a schedule. I don't know how often I should do this. I don't know if I should do this every day or every other day or whatever I'm free. Who knows? Who knows how this affects the algorithm? Who knows how this affects me like getting pushed? But yeah, we'll see. We'll play it by ear and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm really excited for everything that's been happening lately. Everything seems to be going really, really, really good for me, and got to just continue going down the same path. Got to continue staying positive and focusing on the good, not focusing on everything wrong, because Lord knows that we can focus on the wrong things in life, and Lord knows that we can also focus on the good things. We can always appreciate the family we have, the stability, everything around us that helps us and builds us up. But for most of us, I feel like we focus on the negative, and it's weird. And I'm really trying to break myself out of this paradigm. I'm really trying to get out of the mindset of like what I don't have and focus on what I do have. But no how to, oh my god, no matter how hard I try, I feel like it's been 24 years of my life where I focused on the negative. So it's slowly breaking myself out of that pattern. It's me, Tiki. What's up, Tiki? Just whenever you have time to make a stream, do it. Yeah, no, I think that might be a good rule of thumb. Like even if I just do a quick 20-minute one, it might be worth it to, just talk to people because these are so fun to do. Like I'm literally chilling before one of my classes, and it's like I'm not gonna do any work, so I might as well turn this on and, have a good time, get some engagement, get some conversations going, stimulate some thought, and work on my skills because this really, really, really helps in terms of streaming. Your videos are so much fun and entertaining. Thank you so much. That's really, really awesome to hear. Sometimes I feel like I don't, I'm not as animated as I am off camera. And I feel like me talking into the camera with like, it's a lot easier right now because there's the interaction, but like me just talking to the camera, it's sometimes hard to catch my whole personality. So like I'm providing information, so it's really hard to make it interesting. Like I have to like force myself to tell jokes or do certain things. But that's really awesome to hear. I'm just trying to keep getting better, trying to keep making more entertaining, and yeah, it seems to be paying off. It seems to be working out, and everything's working out for the best right now. So yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, thank you again so much. That's really, 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 really cool to hear. finding time in between classes to find something I like doing. It actually yeah. Yeah, no, that's literally like the cheat code to life. Like if you can constantly fill your day with things you like doing and slowly remove the things that you don't, like it's it just becomes so simple. My favorite workout today was, yeah. Dude, I don't know what it is, but going for workouts with your friends, like I don't feel like I get as much work done. I don't feel like I get as much like energy expenditure or volume, or I don't feel like I get as much of a pump, but it's always just so much fun going to the gym with somebody. So anytime I'm like around and I can go to my friend's gym, he can get me in, or I pay for a day pass, like it's always a great time, and I always remember those times. I feel like those are the most fun I have with my friends. What have you been doing in between classes though to find enjoyment? I'm interested in the activities. So it yeah, that's gonna be hard. So the problem is when you try to explain stuff to people who are older than you, a lot of times they've done it for so long that they don't want to change. So it's something that you're gonna have to start hinting at. Like maybe, I mean, if the rest of his diet's pretty bad, I think diet soda is one of the lowest things because it's literally 0 calories, so like it's not going to be as detrimental as maybe like if he's eating a bunch of microwave food or a bunch of like TV dinners or like whatever it is. But just slowly over time start to like talk about, you know, the changes that you've made. Try to somehow apply it from, okay, like I made this change and I feel this much better, so that he feels like it's his own decision. Like whenever you try to change someone's mind, you have to do it in a non-confrontational way if you actually want to make a difference in their life. But you can't outwardly say like that's horrible for you, that's so acidic, it's going to do just so much damage to your stomach, it makes it so you can't digest food, and over time it's going to lead to serious gut issues that are going to lead to other issues if it's not just gut issues. And it's sad to see someone you love not make the choices to, you know, sustain their health and keep themselves alive longer and keep themselves in better health so that they can be more active with you, so they can spend more time with you and have more energy. But you kind of have to do it in an indirect way, and it sucks, but it's just human nature. And think like there's probably something that someone's told you and it has made you upset even though you know it's right. And it's all about the manner in which we speak, the manner in which we put things across. And if you make it seem like it's his idea to quit, like if you just start telling him about your new diet, the things that you're doing, the information that you've learned and what you're applying, you could literally just say like, you know what, I just figured out that diet soda is really, really acidic, and it's not the calories that are the worst part about it. It's not the, you know, the preservatives or the chemicals. Like those are all bad, but it's also like your stomach needs to be able to digest things, and the more acid we put in, the more things that we put in to throw it off, the more chemicals, the more um, what is it, aspartame, yeah, whatever it is, whatever is in there, the more stuff that we put into our body, the more our body's going to struggle to just be healthy. And if you could just start laying out these things, I think it's going to be a really, really, really good way of doing it. Hold on, I'm going to turn off my air conditioner. It's so loud right now. Yeah, I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense, because I feel like especially with old people, you can't tell them health or diet advice because they're just gonna be like, well, I've been doing this forever and I'm this years old. Like you might have been able to do it, but like it always catches up with you and it always starts to affect you. And is it really worth not being able to see your grandkids for an extra few years or have health so that you can do stuff with them? And in my opinion, it's not. But like I've tried to convince my dad, and he's in a similar boat. Like he eats a big ass bowl of cereal every morning, and he was trying to tell me that it's good for you. But I'm like, what part of processed carbs, sugar, and dairy is good for you? Like my dad is literally lactose intolerant. Like you can tell he has all these signs of something that's lactose intolerant. He's constantly going, he's like hawking up loogies and stuff. Like it's so detrimental for his health. But like you can never approach the situation in a kind fashion because you're flipping their script, you're changing their entire worldview, and it has to be of their own volition, it has to be of their own mind. Otherwise, they are going to some way reject it, in some way find issue with it. Maybe they take it as an insult and it might hurt the relationship. So really just try the indirect approach, try to explain it in a manner that like you're making these choices consciously for your health, and that if he wants to also make some decisions that you can help him. Like literally don't brush the subject in like an aggressive manner. Try to make it as approachable as possible and make it seem like it's his idea, and that's it. Yeah, man, I'll explain a lot. My mind is blown by the information now. I'll explain it to him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, awesome. I hope that helps, and let me know how it goes. And it's also like the way that I've been changing my mom's mind on diet is I've just been giving her books to read. And that's also a really, really good way because a lot of older people they only respect the appeal to authority. So if you can give them a book, they're really, really likely to listen to it. They're really, really likely to apply the things. So like finding really good books with really good information could be something that could really help out that person. And I stopped getting people gifts. I started getting them books. So I really tailor the books to what I think that person needs in my life. So that might be a good way to go about it. But again, it can't seem like how to like the book can't be titled How to Stop Being a Fat Slob and you give it to your friend who's a fat slob. Like it has to like come from a good place. It can't be too pushy at the same time. So just think of that, and these are a few ways that I've really gone about it, but again, it's to each their own, and he has to make the decision himself. It's sad to say, but like, you know what? Maybe he likes soda too much, and he's like, I already have all these issues. Like some people aren't gonna make the change, and you need to recognize when they're not gonna make the change so that you don't push them too far and then harm the relationship. So, yeah, hopefully that helps. The only thing he likes is the news on TV. Yeah, yeah. I feel like that's most old people though. I feel like for the most part, that's really what where their worldview comes from. And it's really a shame because some of the smartest people I know have some of the worst opinions in terms of how the world operates. And it's really a shame because I feel like older people trusted the school system a lot more than we really do. So we'll seek information on our own. We'll go on the internet. We'll find different sources. If something doesn't add up, we're not going to really take that advice and we're not really going to apply it to our lives. But if something adds up, we're more skeptical. We're more willing to do the deeper diving and look for other things. You can't change anyone; they can only change themselves. Yeah, if that isn't the most true statement ever. It's frustrating, but at the same time, when you understand that, then you can understand that basically, if you can get the other person to want to make the change, they will make the change. And it's all about finding a way to say it so that they really, really need to implement that change, or their life won't be as good as it can be. What is it? It feels like we are on a chair sitting next to each other. Others feels comfortable with me. I like people who interact with the viewers. Yeah. No, this is so fun. This is like, cause I literally just got done filming a video, and it's not even close to as fun as this. It's really a shame that I didn't start doing this earlier because it's so fun. It truly is. Oh my God, what is this doing? Yeah, no, I really the one issue I have with this is I don't feel like sometimes when I'm streaming, there'll be like a few viewers and they're not engaging with me. So like they might be just listening to me rant, and it's like I can rant for 2 hours straight, but it's not as fun. But like right now, this is awesome because you guys are asking me questions. You guys are, you know, posing things that I really haven't thought of, and I have to kind of give an answer on the fly. Like it's just fun to do, and it's more challenging to me because I can't plan what I'm gonna say. It's like spur of the moment. So it's really cool. It's really, really cool. I really like it. I love having that kind of, yeah. Yeah, no. I really didn't get why streaming was so popular until I started doing it. And now it makes so much sense because if you're active in the chat, then it really has like the same feel as us just talking to each other. Will it help if I donate something? I don't have super chats on. I don't meet the requirements to have them, but even just you saying that is really really awesome to hear. Like, thank you so much. Like, never feel like you need to donate to me. Never feel like you need to give me anything. Like, literally, just you asking genuine questions means the world to me. I'm not in this for money. I'm not in this for, oh, I'm gonna do this or do that. Like, I'm not like all the other people that are purely motivated by money. Like, if I make 50 grand a year, I'll be happy. That's literally all I want. Like, I don't want anything outside of myself. I don't want anything that takes away from who I am as an individual. And it's like I don't want to sacrifice myself for the growth of this channel. I don't want to sacrifice myself and make content that I'm not okay with, make content that I don't think is beneficial to people, because I feel like that's where so many people go wrong. Like, if you look at people who have really destroyed their reputation, it always comes from the ego. It always comes from people trying to be someone that they're not, and it really sucks. Your lectures are like my bio teacher. She takes money for it. Yeah, no, I that's the other thing. Like, I was talking to my mom the other day. She's like, "You should be a professor at college." I'm like, I don't like that because I don't want to be restricted to what I can and can't talk about. I don't want to be restricted to any subject. It's really really fun to get on here and talk about whatever I want and just flow and just be free and really just have fun with it, because that's what it's about. Like, if money comes as a result of it, cool, but it's not the end all be all. Like, I'll continue to do this if I'm still not making anything from this channel. I'll literally continue to do this to the end of time. Like, it's so fun. It helps my communication skills. It helps my ability to be social and really come out of my shell and really show who I am, because most of my life I struggled to be myself. Most of my life I was being best philosopher on YouTube. I don't know if I'm a philosopher. I don't know what you consider philosophy, but that's a great comment. That's really cool to hear. Yeah, feel free to explain the truth among people. And I don't even know if it's the truth. That's the thing. The best part about the truth is we all have our own truth. Like, yeah, there's fundamental things that we can't explain away, like gravity or buoyancy or any of the other like laws of nature, but each and every individual shapes their own reality by the things they believe in. It's like, what I believe is not what you believe, but we can somehow come to an agreement and come to a better understanding and understand each other better and understand ourselves better. No, I believe in you. I mean, yeah, I mean, you could believe in me to a point, but I'm sure we disagree about something, and that's the beauty in this. The beauty in this is that we're open to having a conversation. We're opening to talk about things that might not be talked about in the public space. It might not be addressed, like, in terms of like the true information on health, the true information on why we are in our current situations. Like, it really all comes down to the self. It all comes down to the decisions you make. But it's really awesome to hear words like that, because it's cool, because I'll post videos and half of them don't get any comments. Every once in a while it'll be like, wow, this is a great video, but it's not like this. It feels like like you said, it feels like we're having a conversation directly across from each other, and it's really cool to get the feedback live and really get what the person is saying, because you can only explain so much in a comment. You can always only explain so much in like, thank you so much, this video helped. Like, I've gotten hundreds and hundreds of those comments, but this is so much more um, impactful and so much more like, I can get what you're saying at a deeper level. It's really 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 awesome. The world is what everyone makes of it. All comes down to your choices. Yeah. The more I read, the more I just see that in everything. Like, every single ideology comes down to the world is shaped by how you view it. And like, the further you go back, the more we understand that. But the further we go forward, the more the focus is not on the self, but the focus is on everybody else. Like, if you look at most of the information that's popular, it's like, oh, you're the sum of the five people that you spend the most time with, or like think of like the classic tropes of just what is pushed. Like, we all talk about how bad society is, how this is, oh, this, and it's everything except the self. Everything except self-responsibility, and everything comes from the self. If you go back to the ancient Egyptians, if you go back to Hermeticism, if you go back to all of these ancient ideologies and all of these ancient philosophies, they all focus on the self. They all focus on your thoughts, the way you shape the world, the way you view things, the way you interpret things, and the way that you hold on to them. Are you holding on to them with emotion? Are you holding on to them with hatred? Or are you accepting them as an experience? And it's so frustrating why people will complain about how bad mental health is, but then they'll go out and blame everything else except themselves. And the moment you stop blaming yourself is the moment that you take responsibility away from yourself. When you don't blame yourself, you can't step up to the plate and make changes, make any sort of effect on your own life, because you don't have the power anymore. You gave the power to whoever is the president, whoever the other political party that you don't like is, whoever is on social media that is getting the recognition that you don't have. It's just, it's so weird. Is it okay if I ask something other than psychological questions? Yeah, I'll go into whatever subject I've been reading about. That's another problem with me. Like, I'll focus on whatever kind of books I'm reading. And I just finished a book on philosophy, and now I'm reading a book on like flow state and creation. So, what games do you play? Like video games or other activities? Wish I could stay longer, but I have to go, unfortunately. Hope this chat is still active for a while. Yeah, no, I have to go. I'm gonna go in like 20, 30 minutes anyway too, so it's no big deal. I'm sure you will catch another stream. I'm sure you will um, interact with me in a future date, because this was fun, and thank you so much for being here. Yeah, video games. I don't play video games anymore, but when I used to play video games, is that what you want to know? Like, I'm trying to think of the last video game I really played. Every once in a while, I'll pick up UFC. I don't remember what UFC I have, but I'll play that game. Those games are really fun. Like any game though, I feel like it kind of gets boring after a while. Like, you can see the cracks, you can see it's limited. It's not as expansive as it really should be. And like, another game I like is Skyrim. Like, I would always just come back to Skyrim. I can't really play video games anymore. It's not as fulfilling to me as like reading a book or filming a video. Like, I feel like a lot of the downtime I have has been replaced by this channel. So like, it's good and bad, because I'm just mindlessly ranting into a camera, but it also has gotten me away from certain habits that I didn't think were really productive for me. My brother feels like Undertaker after defeating the Do you like after you guys fight in the game? Do you guys like set up the chairs and make a ring in real life? I'm sure that's what goes down. You're like, oh, you just beat me 5 times in the video game, but you can't beat me in real life. And then you guys start doing like off the rope jumps on each other and stuff. I'm just picturing that in my head, even if that's not a scenario. Like, you can't bring me down by saying no. I feel like that's definitely what happens. Yeah, I knew it. I already knew it. It's like that's so funny. Bro is 4-2 in threads. It's always the shortest people that have like the biggest amount to prove. I don't know, sometimes this might not be the case with your brother, but I feel like a lot of short people are really hard to fight, especially for me, because like, at least when I'm doing jujitsu, when I'm in full mount, they're so small that they can like get their legs out, and my legs are so big that there's just naturally space. There's like a girl that used to go to my gym that when I would train with her, she would literally just get out of full mount, and there's like fully grown men that can't do that just because she was so small. So I don't know, if you can use it, it's like an advantage. Like, look at Volkanovski. He has like weird strength, and it like kind of benefits him to be that small, because for his weight class, like, he's a tricky matchup, because he's so short and dense that it really helps him, with like takedown defense and everything. But yeah, no, it's interesting to see how like different people apply their body types in fighting, and see how they really go about it, because like, there's no such thing as a good body type for fighting. It's all about how you use it. Like, I'm really, really tall. It's really good for triangles. It's really good for darces, but at the same time, like it makes me really easy to get leg locked because my legs are so long. So you're always going to be able to grab a hold of them. And it's really easy to elevate me because my hips are so much higher than my legs. So it's all a give and take, and it's really interesting to see like the push pull. And people call fighting a chess game. I think that's kind of cringe. I think that's kind of like it doesn't really exemplify it, but it really is a more complex thing than we really give it credit. And a really really good fighter that has great strategy, you can always just watch them and be in awe of what they can do. I don't know if you guys watch UFC. I don't like keep up with everything, but like the big fights I'll watch. Like I watched Pereira. That was crazy. I thought he was gonna lose honestly in the first round because I don't know. Khalil just fights angry. Like something about him, he just doesn't like the person he's fighting, and it's those people are always fun to watch. Like win, lose or draw. Like you'll always just get a good fight out of those people, and you got to give him credit for really going after it because nobody's gone after Pereira in that fashion, and it's really cool. It's really cool. What about physical games? I train jujitsu. I used to train kickboxing, but I don't train it as much anymore just because I don't really have enough time. And jujitsu is just so fun that it's like it's all consuming. So like it's really taken away from like the passion I have for kickboxing. And the other thing about kickboxing is I'm 6'6" and I'm like 200 pounds. So like either the person is completely different size from me, like they're way lighter and I can just keep them at range, or the person's way better than me and I don't know what to do. So it's like I it's not really fun to spar, and I get headaches after. So it's like another issue. But what do you love most to talk about? What I love most to talk about is I really really love talking about what is it? I don't know how to say it. It's like law of attraction. I see you're busy doing some other stuff. Are you like busy right? No, I'm just I just uploaded a video to YouTube, and now I'm just doing the hashtags and I was gonna post it. But I'm literally gonna be done with that in 2 seconds. I was just gonna do that before I went to my class. But yeah, no, what I like to talk about most, I don't really want to say law of attraction. I don't want to say law of assumption. I don't want to say anything. I just want to say I like to talk about the mind. I like to talk about how we view things, our thoughts, the things that we apply into our own lives, the thoughts that we linger on, and how it can affect our current states, and how we view the world can affect what we are reflected. And it's really interesting to see that it's not only like how we view the world that really changes it, but how we view the world also changes how others view us, and that can also shape stuff. So like anybody that doesn't really believe that your thoughts are so powerful, it's like inherently human communication is 90% nonverbal. So this means that your body language tells most people what they need to know about you. So if you have angry body language, if you have negative body language, if you're like hunched over, people are going to treat you like you're not a nice person, like you're angry or you're insecure, or you're like whatever it is that your body language is displaying, people are going to treat you like that. So we really need to focus on the thoughts we have, because it's not just law of attraction. Oh, you can manifest this, you can do this. Like it's not that shit. It is, but it's also so much deeper, because it in real time can affect every scenario you have, and every scenario that you have goes into your subconscious and then puts out the self-image that you're going to display the very next day. And we always take everything so negative. We always take all the negative experiences and we don't flip it on its head. Like your life's not supposed to be easy. You're supposed to learn lessons. You're supposed to view each and everything as a challenge. And the more things that you fail, the more things that you can draw from, because you're like, okay, I went up to that girl and she didn't like me. What did I do wrong? Oh, maybe I was shaking my hands. Maybe I was like doing some weird shit. Like we can always learn from every experience, but we don't choose to take these experiences and learn from them. We choose to get angry, get upset, get all worked up and say, woe is me, the world is against me, all this shit is unfair. But the truth is, like, the world is only unfair if you view it as unfair. The world is fair if you focus on everything going right for you, because I don't like to compare. I don't like to look at other people and go like, I'm better than this person. But like, There are a billion people in this world that have it worse than you, that would die to be in your situation, and you want to focus on the negative. And I'm not talking about anybody in general, I'm talking about everybody in general, because each and every one of us has the inherent just desire in us to compare ourselves and compare ourselves with Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or someone that's your age with no talent making millions of dollars on TikTok. Like, we all want to look at these people and ask, why isn't this me? And it's not you because of the decisions you've made. It's not you because of the thoughts you've held in your head. Like, if you want to do something, just start thinking about it all day and the ideas will come to you. But we always want to just be like, oh, everything else, why can't this thing just fall into my lap? Why can't I win the lottery? And it's like, if you just want to win the lottery and you're not going to learn the lessons on how to spend money or how to be responsible or how to be, how to give back, how to give to your family, like, if you don't learn these lessons, then you're going to blow the entire wealth that you've been blessed with. And like, we don't think of things like this because all we view is the negative. All we view is what we don't have, and it sucks. It really does. But everything comes from the mind. The entire universe is mental, and it's weird how many different books you read that say the exact same thing and that all say that your mind determines everything in your life, and if you can master your mind, you master your world. And people still want to like look at the things I'm saying and saying like this isn't important, but it's the most important thing you'll ever hear. Everything comes from the self. Same thing as relationships. Everyone wants to look at their relationships and blame everything that went wrong on the other person, but if you're blaming the other person, what are you going to do? What are you going to do for the next thing? You're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to have a toxic relationship because, you know what, you're also toxic. You are what you attract, and because you didn't learn from the last one, you're going to take the same traumas and more to this new one. And like, people wonder why they're not happy in relationships. People wonder why they can't find somebody to be there for the long term. It's like, you're not there for yourself for the long term. You're doing things in your life that are just directly opposed to your best interest, but you're not willing to admit it. And until we're willing to be open with ourselves, we can never be open and trusting with somebody else. And it's weird that we don't learn these things, but you know what? Just read a bunch of books and you'll get this information. And it's fascinating to me that like the information I know, people are like, where do you learn this shit? Like, you seems like you shouldn't really know this stuff. It seems like this shit should be like really, really buried and really hard to find. But all the books I read are on Amazon. It is very rare where it's really hard for me to find a book where I need to buy it used or I need to go to another website. Every single book I read is on Amazon. All the information is readily available, but people are just so dumb. I don't know if dumb's the right word. Maybe lazy, maybe not willing to make a change, that this information to change your reality, change your life is just basically free, and it's basically available everywhere. And people still won't go out and make the change. And it's really, really weird to me. But to each their own. Everyone has their own life. Everyone has to go on their own path. And if you want to live in a reality where you're not the creator of it, continue to do that. But you can make the change. You can easily affect your world, but it only just takes a little bit of work. It takes a little bit of discipline, a little bit of sacrifice. And that might be scary to you. And if it's scary to you, like, maybe it's going to take a few more years. Maybe you're going to have to fail and fail and fail and be in a bad situation for a much longer period of time before this stuff I'm saying resonates. But everything comes from the self. Everything comes from your mind. Everything comes from how you view the situations. And if you don't believe me, go read Stoicism. Go read Carl Jung. Go read the greatest minds who have ever lived. They say the exact same thing as me, and they say it much better. And if you do have to go to them, good, because I'm glad I pushed you in the right direction. I'm glad I pushed you in the direction of knowledge and the direction of bettering yourself. And something good came from you watching one of my videos. Like, even if you don't like me, even if you never come back to my channel ever again, if you learn one thing, there are great minds out there that will teach you how to be great. And all you have to do is just pay $5, $10, $15, and you get that book from Amazon 2 days later. It's literally that simple. And I don't know why people refuse to put in the work, but it is what it is. But yeah, what time is it? 1:48. I might be on for like 10 more minutes. So if anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask them. If not, I will start ranting in another second after I post this video on my other channel. I wonder, like, do people know that I have a channel where I only, oh my god, what is this thing doing? What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, do people know I have a channel where I only talk about books? I'd be interested to know if everyone knows about it or if it's just a certain percentage. Because I know there is some carryover. I've talked about both channels, but I was just wondering in terms of like percentage, because there's no way for me to track that. There's no way for me to figure that out, and it would be awesome if I could like get a few people to tell me whether or not that's true. It's not that big of a deal if not, but yeah. All right. Seems like we still got a few people in here, so I'll just talk about. Oh my god, what is this mouse doing? What the fuck? Okay. Anybody got any questions? Anyone got anything that they want me to talk about? If not, I'm just gonna go into something that I want to talk about. So, yeah, I'll give you guys a few seconds. It's crazy how loud this road is. I'm 12 stories up and it's so loud. Like there's a train that comes by and you can literally it feels like I'm right next to it. Like you can feel the window shaking. Here's the book I'm going to talk about. It's not over here. Yeah, so I'm going to do this, but before I go, I just want to talk about one more thing. The greatest thing you can do for yourself, the absolute greatest thing that will fundamentally transform your life, is the acquisition of knowledge. If you read enough books, if you read enough articles, if you look in philosophy enough, if you just acquire enough knowledge and you can apply that knowledge into your life to better your mind, to better your finances, to better your health, that is the path forward. That is the path to success. That is a path to a greater life. And so many of us think that we need education from the school system, that we need education from somebody telling us what to learn. But the beauty is that when you start learning, you fall in love with it. You get addicted to it. You will never be able to stop acquiring knowledge, and you get more valuable as every day passes on. Like each day I learn a new thing that I can pass on to other people, that I can apply to my own life, that in some way I can teach and I can eventually monetize, or in some way I can improve my situation based off of just, oh, this is gonna help me have more energy throughout the day so I can film more videos, or I can do this more, or like in any way, like it's going to help me. So I really, really just want you to understand that if you just pick up a source of information and start applying it into your life, like that is the solution. You don't need to watch videos on YouTube. You don't need to consume content. You don't need to do anything aside from take yourself seriously, pick up a book, pick up some form of information. And like, if you don't know where to start, literally you can ask me questions right now. You can go on any of my videos and ask me, what book should I read? You can look up the top books on Amazon in the self-development. Like, I don't think those books are any good for the most part, but you can find this information and it's at your fingertips. But most people are refusing to take it up because they don't know that there's this option. They don't know that there's this ability to find information, and find information that is valuable enough to change your life. And the greatest part about information is that information is virtually free or very, very, very low cost. And people think that it's locked behind some university door. It's locked in some university lecture hall. It's in the mind of some professor. But I don't think even most professors are particularly bright. I don't think most professors really have a grasp of anything outside of their topic of study. And it's crazy to see that, like, I'm not that smart. I really am not that smart. I'm not super gifted. I have like a weird ability to pull information out of my brain when somebody asks me, and I can kind of remember what I've read, but that's all I have. I literally just have like a good ability to recall. And I say this just for the fact of like, you don't have to be special. You don't have to be great. You don't have to be talented. It's just, are you willing to put in a little bit of effort, a little bit of work? Just read one book a month, one book a week, and slowly over time, you're going to be able to read more, you're going to retain more, you're going to be able to apply more, and it's like a compounding effect. Like when I first started reading, boom, 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 boom. Now it's literally like this. Like every day, it feels like I'm learning something that's transforming my life, and it's only a matter of time before I'm seeing the success that I desire. But it didn't start out that way, and it's going to be hard. At first, it's going to be weird to rewrite your brain and get away from like TikTok and get away from Instagram and YouTube and all these other platforms. But when you do it, you'll be so happy. You'll be able to do anything that you've ever wanted to do, and it's so easy to just pick up a book, pick up information, and that's all I want to say. If you don't want to really study, if you don't really want to do anything, if you want to take a shortcut, I'll leave a link to my school community at the end. But yeah, I really just want people to get information. I want to spread information. I want to spread people to be free thinkers and understand themselves, because that's what it's all about. If you made the stream, Tiki and Evan, also thank you so much for talking to me through the whole thing. It was awesome to get interaction. I love the interaction. It makes it so much more fun. But yeah, thank you guys. I gotta go.